Hi everyone and welcome to another TAILEATERS Discussion. My name's Lee Adams. I'm the co-host of Cosmic Echo, a TAILEATERS podcast. And in this discussion, we're going to be talking about voice commands and how you can use those to fly around in your dreams. So without further ado, let's get to it. For those of us who have had out-of-body experiences and are trying to figure out what to do, voice commands can become very useful. The reason is that voice commands allow people to travel using some type of audible intention. And what I mean by this is that they can use their voice in an out of body state and then travel based on their intention that's behind the voice command. If that makes sense. So in an out of body state, we don't really have a voice, right? Because we're just consciousness. We're out of our body. We're not awake. We're dreaming. But what we have found is that people can use their voice, their conscious thought of their voice, in order to shout out words and commands in order to get transported somewhere. So the best thing to do if you're going to use voice commands or any type of command like that, you can even use thought commands, but in this video we're talking about voice commands, and thought commands would work the exact same way. But what you do is you would set your intention before you go to sleep of a goal. So say your goal is, I want to travel to Jamaica. I've never been to Jamaica, but it's probably a great time. So I want to go to Jamaica and I want to see what Jamaica's like. Now this may, without getting into the weeds about if we're actually going to Jamaica or not, the voice commands will take us there as long as we remember to use them. Or it'll take us to something that represents Jamaica in our minds. So what I would do is you're going to set your intention before you go to sleep, and then you're going to actually go to sleep. You'll be out of your body, and then you're going to shout out your voice command. So Jamaica, make it easy, right? Like, I want to go to Jamaica, or take me to Jamaica, or just even Jamaica. And now I get transported to Jamaica. Usually there's some type of transition that takes place too. I get pulled or I feel like what people describe as the astral winds is like a pulling or blowing of me over to Jamaica, and then next thing you know, I'm in Jamaica and things look like Jamaica, and I'm talking to people that live in Jamaica. So, or just observing the experience of Jamaica. So voice commands are very useful in that sense of taking us places. But what people don't realize is that voice commands also can take us to different concepts of consciousness. So what I mean by that is that you can use a voice command and actually say something with the intention to expect some type of conscious state. So, for instance, you may have heard people using voice commands for higher self, right? Higher self isn't really like a location, right? It's not taking us to Jamaica or some geographical location or outer space or anything like that. It's taking us to a state of mind. We're trying to see what will come about with using these open-ended words. Nobody knows what higher self is that's going to use it. We just we want to see what that is. So in an experience of mine, I wanted to see what higher self was. So I said higher self, and to my surprise, I was pulled to be on the moon, and I was like, that's strange. And so I was walking around the moon, and I see this giant mirror coming up in front of me. And so I go up to the mirror and I look at the mirror, and it's a reflection of myself. And I looked at it, and even though I was aware and I knew that I used the voice command to get to the moon, I wasn't interested in what it had to present me. I was a little bit distracted by there's this little box on the ground, and I thought, oh, there's got to be some knowledge or some important information inside this box. It was like a puzzle box, so I started messing around with it. But really what I didn't realize is that the higher self was actually right in front of me, and it was a reflection. The reflection, I am the higher self of myself. Interesting enough that I missed that. But the good news is that after when I woke up, I was like, oh my, I should have known, right? It's right in front of me, the answer. So it was something to meditate about later on. So it's interesting that voice commands can be used with open-ended questions. So um, you may want to think about the deeper questions or deeper voice commands that you want when you actually get into the out of body experience or astral state, and then see what happens. Anymore though, I tend for myself I tend to stay away from voice commands because they have so much direction to them. Now what I typically do is just leave it to the astral winds and see where they take me. So I'm more of an explorer now versus like a guided tour of these consciousness realms. So hopefully this video helped you a little bit into understanding voice commands and how you can use them. Maybe some good examples of voice commands would be Jamaica, right? Or higher self, or fear. I've also used that one, which is troubling, but if you're prepared and you're ready for a terrible, scary adventure, then fear is a good one. So you can face your fears because we all have them, and we all deep down inside know what our worst fears are. But that word will definitely inspire your consciousness to provide you some horror movie experiences, which are better than anything you can see in the theaters. So use fear, and then you get to face that. But that may be for later, right? But hopefully it's helped you. And if you enjoyed this episode and would like to see more of these episodes, you can like us and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And I also have free guides on the website TAILEATERS.com, and you can visit there and get some free guides on lucid dreaming, out of body experiences, lucid supplements. Those are often important for people, as well as maybe some more consciousness stuff. And if you're interested in psychedelic information, that's there as well. So all kinds of good stuff out there. Anyways, until next time, happy dreaming.